right, stand by.
All right, welcome to News 6 Extra. I'm Christopher Heath. It is Thursday, August the 28th. And you know what, Kathleen? Do you know what today is? Kathleen, do you know what today is?
What is today? Oh, that's right. You just told me. It's game day.
It's game day. Season's kicking off.
That's
The
right.
return of Scott Frost. The Scott Frost era part 2 is here.
Well, go
Some
Knights.
Whiteouts. Go Knights. Charge on. We are going to hopefully start the second Scott Frost era with a big win tonight over Jacksonville State.
Okay.
And then from then on, it is onward, forward. Big 12 title in our grasp. I got lots of confidence. So we'll see how they look tonight.
How's the
Jacksonville
schedule?
State.
Is it a hard schedule or?
Yeah, I know it's got some teams on it that are gonna be pretty tough. Big 12's no joke. It's even though Texas and Oklahoma left the conference, it's still got some good teams in it. And listen, the Knights had some issues last season under Gus Malzahn. He's gone. We have Scott Frost back. Of course, the national championship came about under Scott Frost's tenure. So we're embracing the return of Scott Frost. We're excited for it. We'll see how it goes tonight. I mean, it's a new era in college football. It's just, with the transfer portal and, the NIL money where players are getting paid now, and then they're also able to go from school to school without having to sit out. It changes the game a lot, but, hey, I'm optimistic,
All right.
Everybody is optimistic on week one. And granted, yes, Jacksonville State is probably not the marquee matchup. But then again, listen, the University of Florida is playing Long Island University. I didn't even know there was a Long Island University.
Neither did I. I was thinking that same thing. I had no idea.
If you had come to me and said, "Hey, Chris, there's a university on Long Island," I'd be like, "Cool. Is it like a university? Or is it one of those places that like it's in a strip mall and you show up and pay them and they hand you But no, it's an actual school and apparently has an actual football program. And they're going to travel to Gainesville, and the University of Florida is going to cut them a check, and then they'll leave. So, which is probably what we're doing with Jacksonville State, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, enough about the UCF Knights and our beginning of the season and the whiteout tonight for Scott Frost's return. The question I have, it's a question I posed to Candace this morning, and that is this: is it going to rain on me at the bounce house? And she said probably, which is. I know, it's not good. So, all right, here's the full forecast with Miss Candace Campos.
I'm News 6 Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. Again, today is going to be a pretty typical afternoon where we will continue to see those afternoon showers and thunderstorms. But then as we head into that weekend, we know we're going to see a better shot for those heavier downpours as a new system will be rolling through, really producing a lot more rain. That could also increase our threat for flooding, heavy rain, lightning, even some gusty winds. So this is the latest satellite loop. That same cold front that brought us drier conditions yesterday, that is now back up to the north, replacing all that dry air with a lot more moisture. And as that continues to kind of seep into central Florida, we will once again start to see a better shot for those scattered showers and thunderstorms. Then there's a secondary front, and as that one starts to move into central Florida by the weekend, will become our next real rainmaker. So as we take it here hour by hour, so we can plan out to our Thursday, 90 degrees will be our high this afternoon. Rain chance again do go up into the evening hours through at least sundown till about 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. So let's show you what that 60% chance of rain looks like on the modeling here. And you can see by 8 o'clock, you can see scattered showers and thunderstorms as the east and west coast sea breeze once again comes together. This does include areas in and around the bounce house for the UCF home opener, which I know Heath is really excited about. So we're going to continue to see some of those heavier downpours that will continue into the evening hours. Then as we head into about 6 o'clock in the evening on Friday, some more heavy downpours across our northern zones. Again, another active afternoon, but pretty textbook for us here in Central Florida. Where things start becoming a little more unsettled, again, is that secondary front. As it continues to move further south, it will develop an area of low pressure in and around the area. That's going to keep things very unsettled. Notice the modeling here picking up a lot of rain, not only for us here in Central Florida, but across the entire Sunshine State. And then that looks to be the same setup for Monday as well. So this is a quick look at the Labor Day weekend forecast. 87 will be our temperature both Saturday and Sunday. I know it looks like it's going to be a washout of a weekend, but most of this rain will be coming in through the afternoon hours. But again, we're talking tropical moisture. Could be producing upwards about 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. And that's widespread. There will be that opportunity to produce some even higher rainfall amounts under some of those slower storms. Quick check on the tropics as we move into Labor Day, move into September. Tends to be the most active time of the year for us here in our hurricane season. We're watching a new area that hasn't even rolled off the coast of Africa just yet. But as it does so, we'll start moving into warmer waters, more favorable conditions. So the National Hurricane Center is giving that a 20% chance of potential development within the next 7 days. In the meantime, though, again, pretty typical summer day, Thursday and Friday, really ramping up the rain chances and cloud cover, which should actually keep our highs well below average in those upper 80s.
And I was quickly checking while Candace was doing that. Candace, of course, went to school at FIU. I was trying to see if FIU was playing my actual alma mater, the University of North Texas, this year. I don't think so. And last time they played, FIU got the better of us. So pour one out for North Texas. Anyway, to a story that News 6 broke yesterday at 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, we were the first to report that the Florida Doge, headed by CFO Blaise Ngolia, is issuing subpoenas to Orange County. Now, Doge, as you may recall, came to Orange County and Orlando and several other places across the state to essentially go through the books, looking for what they call waste, fraud, and misspending. And according to Ngolia on Wednesday, they're going to be issuing some subpoenas to go actually compel some people to provide information because they felt like Orange County was being less than truthful, so to speak, with some of the documents being turned over and some of the staff interviews. Mark Lehman actually caught up with Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings this morning for his reaction.
Jerry Demings appearing at an event here in Pine Hills where he stressed Orange County is fully cooperating with the state's audit. He also questioned the motives of Florida's CFO, who says he has reason to believe documents are being hidden.
You're simply trying to taint the outcome and the public opinion.
Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings is denying the claims that his employees are not fully cooperating with the financial audit by Florida's Doge team.
There's not been any direction from myself or any senior leadership to our employees to hide information or any of that.
The comments coming less than a day after Florida's governor and CFO announced subpoenas are being issued. That's in response to their suspicion that county employees may have been told to hide documents related to 5 diversity, equity, and inclusion grants.
When we started questioning, what we got were some shady answers, some incomplete answers, and what the governor had alluded to, some people were just basically reading off of a script.
Demings saying there's no evidence of the allegations.
There's something else driving this, and this is all being driven by political motives.
Orange is the first county to be subpoenaed by the Doge team after it began looking into excessive spending by local governments. As that continues, Demings says so will the cooperation.
What I would say to all of you is stand by. That will become clearer to you why these attacks are occurring on good, hardworking people here within Orange County.
Demings did not specifically say if Orange County will be investigating the state's claims. Ngolia, meanwhile, says digital forensics investigators may be brought in as the subpoena process is happening. In Orange County, Mark Lehman, News 6.
And you can imagine this is just the beginning of the back and forth between Orange County and the state. Yesterday, we talked about some breaking news during this broadcast. We were just getting new details about the horrific school shooting in Minnesota. And of course, in the time that's transpired, we've learned a lot more about the victims, those who were injured, and a little bit about the shooter. CBS's Nydia Cavazos has this report.
Mourners set up tributes this morning to the young victims of Wednesday's deadly shooting at Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis.
Where's the shooter? No one knows.
Terrifying footage provided to CBS News by a parent shows panicked children running out of the chapel moments after a shooter opened fire during morning mass. 2 children, just 8 and 10 years old, were killed.
This is an unspeakable tragedy. Thoughts and prayers, they're certainly welcome, but they're not enough. These kids were literally in church praying.
5th grader Weston Halsney says he ran and hid under a pew after he heard the gunshots.
My friend Victor saved me though, because he laid on top of me, but he got hit. And I hope he's good in the hospital.
The shooting happened on the student's 3rd day of the school year. Police say the shooter, 23-year-old Robin Westman, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. According to police, Westman had been a student at the school, and the shooter's mother had also worked there in the past. Investigators say they are not looking into a video it appears that Weston made.
We're also aware of a manifesto that the shooter had timed to be released on YouTube. That content has since been taken down.
Investigators say the video contains weapon inscriptions with hateful, disturbing messages targeting blacks, Jews, Hispanics, and President Trump. The investigation is also digging into writings from what seems like the shooter's journal, including sketches of a church and rows of pews. The FBI says the case is being investigated as domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeting Catholics. Nidia Cavazos, CBS News, Minneapolis.
And one of the things that the FBI does is investigate domestic terrorism. Of course, as we move forward, it becomes ever more clear why having the federal government, the FBI in this case, be involved in investigating these things is important, especially because if we're not aware of them ahead of time, things like this can happen. So hopefully that continues. All right. Back here at home, there are some changes to diplomas. So Florida used to issue what is known as a certificate of completion, especially for many special needs students, but changes to the state are making that now change, and parents are raising concerns. News 6 anchor Lisa Bell has this report.
And then part of your job is to shred the paper here?
Mm-hmm.
Every Thursday, Wills Van Bergen, who has Down syndrome, spends 4 hours at the Davie Law Group in Maitland, shredding papers and scanning documents. It's a job he landed after finishing high school and a vocational program at the University of North Florida.
So the program that he attended at UNF, he could not have attended if he had had a standard diploma.
Amy Van Bergen is Will's mom. She says most job training programs for people with special needs specifically require a certificate of completion.
The way that the program was set up, it was based on this special diploma track.
But a new state law has eliminated those certificates effective immediately. Now every student will receive the same high school diploma.
Usually when you have a major policy change like this, the State Department of Education likes to host public meetings, give opportunities for feedback from both internal and external stakeholders, and that really didn't happen at all in this process.
Van Bergen says many parents are worried their children will now fall through the cracks.
There probably won't be guidance for at least a year, so what happens to this year's graduating class?
While many vocational programs will also need better guidance from the state to update their admission requirements, so students like Will's can get the training they need. Lisa Bell, News 6.
And of course, you can count on Lisa to stay on top of that and press the state for answers as to why the change was made and what happens to students going forward. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to News 6 Extra. I am Christopher Heath. Again, we are churning our way through a wonderful Thursday, although clouds rolling in, and Candace, unfortunately, saying I'm probably going to get some rain when I head to the bounce house later today to watch UCF. But, you know, it happens. Speaking of my favorite Central Florida University, e-bikes. Well, they're all over campus, and this college professor has dodged more than his fair share walking to and from Nicholson. But, you know, it happens. Now there's a parent here in Central Florida who's pushing for some better regulations, some better training, especially for younger students who take these e-bikes and e-scooters to and from school each day. Stephanie Rodriguez has this story.
Just 2 weeks ago, a 14-year-old in Volusia County was hit by a car while on his e-bike. That's just one of the reasons one Orange County woman is pushing for increased safety education for children who use them to get to and from school.
I was just flabbergasted at how often I was almost struck by e-bikes.
The more Linda Sibley ran during the early morning hours, the more she noticed kids on electric vehicles, often speeding, without helmets, or texting while driving.
These kids are flying, and they're not even slowing down. They're not even looking to see if a vehicle's coming their way or whatever, because they're on the phone.
That's why she started this petition to create an electric vehicle safety course for Orange County students. She's now asking the county board to make it a requirement.
We need to have one of the commissioners step up and sponsor it, get staff involved and do an ordinance.
Sybil feels Orange County can follow the lead of other states like California that already have a course in place to reduce accidents and fatalities.
They're so fast that not only should the child know all the laws, all the safety regulations, but the parents should have to know them as well.
So it's all about being proactive and keeping everybody that's on the bike trails and sidewalks safe.
I believe over time, as the parents are trained in this, that they will be training the younger siblings and their extended family about, you know what, I took this course and did you know? And share that information.
Sibley would want there to be some kind of proof to show that the children and their parents passed this course, like a sticker or an ID that they can put on their electric vehicles. She feels this would help enforce the mandate and also identify children in case of an accident. Reporting in Orange County, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
That sounds like a good idea. I mean, we do see them zipping around the sidewalk. They go pretty fast, and most of those, you know, trails and stuff that you go running on do say no motorized vehicles. So it makes sense, especially if you're going to be out on a path or somewhere. A little bit of training. All right, so from driving an e-bike on one of the trails to running on one of our many trails, you know, getting fit doesn't just have to happen in the gym. In fact, there's a whole group in London right now that is trying to help others get fit through running. CBS's Tina Kraus has this story.
When it comes to his weekly run, Aiden Padfield pounds the pavement with purpose.
I love to run, and it gives me a good reason to get out on a Monday evening.
He's on a familiar path, a scenic stretch through the heart of London to visit his running coach.
She's waiting to have a visit from me, but also I get to spend a bit of time with her, have a lovely chat. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Not so bad.
Yeah.
You did get my milk.
I did get your milk, yes.
34-year-old Aiden and 87-year-old Maria became fast friends when they first met through Good Gym, a volunteer group in the UK that turns exercise into acts of kindness, tackling all kinds of tasks for strangers, often making meaningful connections in the process.
Oh, very nice.
Aiden has been running to Maria's door for 10 years now.
I'm not a coach, am I?
Well, you're my motivation.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Maria says after suffering a stroke with no family nearby, having Aiden around has been life-changing.
It does everything in the house. Everything that goes wrong in the house, he knows about.
You've got the 3 slices of corned beef.
How does it make your heart feel?
Oh, I said to you, don't ever leave me, darling. Please don't ever leave me.
Does this feel like a second home to you, being back here?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, I'm here every week, not just Maria, but I get to know the neighbours.
I treat him like a grandson. I do. I call him grandson as well.
Aiden says he's in it for the long run because the benefits go both ways.
Kept the belly a little bit trimmer than it would have been otherwise. I will see you Monday, all right?
Bye-bye, darling.
Bye-bye.
It's a weekly ritual that's good for the heart in every way that counts. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Oh, Kathleen, that is a nice, sweet story. It really is.
You know, I like that. And I like that it's helping seniors because a lot of seniors suffer from loneliness, especially if they don't have family living nearby. So to have somebody come in and just check once a week to see how they're doing, that's beneficial.
It is, and it gives, I think for people like myself that enjoy getting out and going for a run, it gives you something to kind of change it up a little bit. If you're not part of like a running group or a running club, it breaks up the monotony a little bit, and that's nice to, of course, you'd have to get there before you get too sweaty, right?
Right. But it is, and it gives you another reason to go running,
Well, yeah, that's the big thing. Like with any exercise regimen, they always say if you can, I think the rule of thumb is like if you can do it for 15 weeks, it becomes a habit. But if you have that extra person to motivate you, somebody that is you're supposed to go meet them at the gym, or you're supposed to meet them and go for a run, or in this case, like you meet them once a week, because if you don't show up, she doesn't have milk or she doesn't get her laundry taken care of. Suddenly, it's no longer I can maybe do it, maybe not. It's no, I have to do it. Somebody's counting on me.
Right. Exactly.
So that's huge. That's huge. All right. Well, we're ending today where we ended yesterday, and we've ended a couple of shows now, which is lamenting that nobody's won all this money. I mean, why would people just not want it? What's wrong with people? $850 million was up for grabs. Nobody wanted it. They were like, let it go. Who cares? Now it's up to $950 million for Saturday's jackpot. Could go higher based on ticket sales. Look at that. Just churning it on out. So Donovan Myrie, one of our reporters here, did a story, and it's actually pretty interesting. He was looking into some of these numbers for the lottery, and while we do see the Powerball numbers ticking up higher and higher, Kathleen, it is also one of the things he found is the sales have trended down, and I think a lot of that you can attribute to legalized gambling in more states, especially here in Florida. Not only do we have legalized gambling on the Seminole land, but now you have the Hard Rock app, and so people can do sports betting. And so if you're somebody who enjoys that that thing of gambling and a little bit of risk taking, maybe you're spending that money that you'd spend on lottery tickets, instead you're spending it betting on the Padres versus the Reds. I mean, it's interesting to see kind of what's going on with that.
Well, I know, but you do bring up an interesting point. It's like, $750 million wasn't quite enough, so now $950 million. Now I'm going to play.
Now I'm going to play.
Right.
Yes, I don't get out of bed for less than $1 billion. You know that,
right?
Yeah.
So
I would imagine we will see. We'll see. I mean, more tickets, but again, the odds are what? The odds are 1 in 13 point whatever trillion or something crazy.
Right. They're really high. But I mean, you can dream. Like the guy we interviewed yesterday, he said he plays the lotto because he has a dream. So,
it's hope springs eternal. If there is a singular underlying message to this show, it is hope springs eternal.
I like
optimist. There it is. Okay. So programming note, I'm off for the next couple of days. You're off as well.
I am.
We are recruiting people to fill our various roles. They won't do as well, but they'll be here. And so we'll see who fills in. I'm trying to get Trooper Steve to do Monday, and we're trying to get Philip, our head of creative services, to do tomorrow. And then I think you're getting.
That would be neat.
And I think Penny's filling in for you.
Yes, Penny's gonna hold down the producing of it.
What we need is somebody with one of those good like announcing voices like they do when you go to the theater, to be like, tonight the part of Kathleen will be played by Penny. And like everyone can look in their playbill and be like, oh, she studied at Juilliard. This will be good.
Yeah, she'll do a great job, and I'm sure
will.
We'll get some other people here to host, and it'll be good. It'll be good.
We'll transition people through. We'll eventually rope everybody into it one by one. We'll get them all on this show.
Sure.
Okay. Well, enjoy your time off. You said you're going to go do some family stuff, so enjoy that.
Yeah, hang out with my mom in North Florida, so it'll be fun.
Nice. I will be doing nothing nearly as I may see. My mom lives like 8 miles from me, so I'll probably see her, but I won't be doing nothing as benevolent as that. I think I'm just going to reestablish my groove on the couch, watch some football, maybe enjoy a cold beverage, if time allows.
Oh, I'm sure time will allow.
So, all right, Kathleen, thank you very much, as always, for this. Thank you to Candace for the weather. And thank you to you for watching News 6 Extra. I'll be back here next Tuesday. Kathleen will be back when she gets back from visiting her mom. But we'll be back here to do the show. Somebody will tomorrow at 12:30. Of course, we break news all the time on clickorlando.com. And then we'll be on the air today starting at 4 o'clock. Have a good rest of your Thursday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.